Welcome, everybody, to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Thursday. So you know what that means. We're going to have another educational Thursday. I'm excited today because there's going to be some great information for our community. I think this is something that we really need to talk about and make a real conversation in our community. When we talk about safe sex, when we talk about healthy sex, when we talk about some of the things that are going on in the community, when we talk about relationships, I think this is a great conversation because I remember I didn't even get this in elementary school. I didn't even get it in high school. But again, today is going to be a great conversation. We are here today with Wise Health. So this should be a great one for community. So just excited about that. Also, it's been a lot of stuff going on in the community. Just tragedy after tragedy. We try to do our part as community, come together to really uplift some of the change and make things happen. It's just great to see a number of organizations coming together today, talking about ways and tools and strategies to come up to prevent some of the violence and some of the things that's taking place in our community. So we're excited about that. And then also I was a part of an amazing panel. It's just great to see in San Francisco the amount of equity that is coming from some of the larger employers in the city, getting some of our people at the table. And I think that's great. And I'm just happy to be a part of this process. I'm not saying that everything is fixed, but we're making some strides and things are changing. I think folks across the Bay Area and across this country are starting to hear and understand some of the challenges, some of the barriers. And when we talk about fixing these issues, it's going to take all of us to be able to have a conversation, a seat at the table, and be a part of the process. So with that being said, I'm here tonight. Y'all got to deal with me. My co-host is out tonight, but I'll be holding it down. I got Brittney here. She used to hold it down as well. So if I get stuck, I just write, Brittney, help me out. Help me out. But just happy to be here. The weather's been great here in the Bay Area. Hope everybody's been able to get out. This is a great time to really just reflect on where we just came from with all of the storms, enjoy some of this great weather out here, enjoy our great beaches and parks that we have here in the Bay Area, and just move around and get outside and talk to some people. And it's just great to see some of that happening. So again, excited about what's going on. With that being said, we're going to jump into our news that's going on across our news, jump into our community events, and then we're going to go ahead and bring up the amazing Wise Health. As you all know, Brittney does an amazing job when it comes to health and bringing information and bringing just a lot of services and resources to our community. She does an amazing parody giveaway. She does a lot of stuff. Y'all see her around the community. She's always supporting the people, always at the front line of health, making sure Black health is most important. All right, Black health do matter, and she supports the people. So just happy to see them here. But with that being said, in the news, everybody's seeing the former Trump, the prosecutors going after our former president about his defamation case and allegations of sexual abuse and rape. And seems like more and more people are coming out again against him. There's stuff going back to the 90s. So this is all over the news. Folks are trying to keep up, but again, it's happening, and more and more people are coming out. So I guess in America, don't do nothing 15, 30 years ago, America. It's going to come back and get you, okay? Be careful what you put on social media, y'all. You might get famous, and won't come back after 30 years and go say, I remember when you was at the... We ain't going to go here, but be careful out there, all right, young people? Be careful. It might come back to hunt you. Also, Coma police recovered 3 pounds of meth, weapons and stolen vehicles, an apparent road rage crash that happened in Coma. The police department said on Monday that led to several arrests, recovering a number of pounds of methamphetamines, weapons. Also, the car was found to be stolen. Again, we are combating this drugs in our community. As you know, this fentanyl problem. Again, this stuff is getting crazy out here in the Bay Area. But again, this stuff is still happening in our community. We got work to do. We got to work with our young people. We got to make sure that there's opportunities that our young people can find other ways to be entrepreneurs and make money. One person was stabbed at the San Francisco BART station. The police are still investigating the stabbing that took place on Wednesday at the Civic Center BART station. The incident closed down BART for about an hour. Again, violence in our community. As we continue to talk about gun violence in our community, there's been an increase of domestic violence as well. What are we doing, community, to really talk about the mental state of people, the substance abuse, how we deal with each other? I think we're going to have a real conversation about how do we deal with our anger? How do we deal with conflict? Because these violent incidents in our community continue to be on an uprise. And we're getting into the summertime, and we know with drugs and alcohol and mental health and heat, it could be a disaster. So again, we got some work to do, community. Let's continue to lead in love, okay? Lead in humility and compassion. We know people are stressed out trying to get home on BART and things of that nature, but be patient, community. Let's show some love to each other. Also, the San Francisco police is investigating the stabbing that took place in the Tenderloin on Thursday. They're investigating a number of stab victims that took place near the Hyde and Golden Gate Avenue in the Tenderloin. Again, people are just having some struggles. And right now, just one of those times. And I think as we are approaching here, this is about to be May, y'all. We're getting into May. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. I think these are the conversations that we're going to try to put here on this platform to really talk about the state of people's minds and what's going on, with all of the job loss, the unsure markets, the financial issues. People are just at the wit's end. So we'll be talking about some of this, and we'll be bringing on some mental health folks so we can have some conversation about it. Also, educators are saying kindergarten readiness is declining for the 6th straight year in Sonoma County. They're talking about students' readiness when it comes to reading and different things of that nature is on a decline. We've been having conversations here over the past couple of weeks about education, where our young people are. We've been having a number of educators on here. And again, they keep saying that across not only the Bay Area, but across the country, when it comes to our young babies, the academic level of where our young folks are is just terrible. So again, we're going to have some conversations. I told y'all we have Vernon and them coming on in a couple of weeks. They are some Black family homeschoolers. They're going to be talking about homeschooling. They do an amazing job with their family. Maybe this is the way. I don't know. We keep talking about the racial systemic curriculum in our California state here and in most of our cities, how terrible it is. We can't get teachers who can teach and work with our young people. I don't know. We got to find new models. We're going to have some conversation about it because we can't have our young babies not reading that level, and we sure can't have our high schoolers who graduate in the next month reading at fourth and fifth grade levels. I keep hearing more and more of this as I get in these meetings, and I'm concerned because I can't have my 18-year-old kids walking away and not having anything. So we got some work to do. We'll be working with our educators, and we're gonna have a big conversation, and we're looking forward to that. Also, last news story: missing 12-year-old girl was reported missing. I believe she was recovered today, but Jewel Redford was last seen at Presidio Middle School on Wednesday. She went missing, but I believe today from the news reports that I'm seeing that she was recovered. Again, we got to keep our eyes on our young people. We got to be mindful of what they're doing, and parents check their social media and see what's going on. Get involved. We got a lot of work to do. But with that being said, we're going to bring up our youth team so tonight go through the community events, and we're going to go ahead and get Wise Health up here. With that being said, Sanaya, take us away with the news, young lady.
Okay, so here are some of the upcoming events happening in the community. Behind a trouble paying rent, San Francisco Emergency Rental Assistance Program. There's tenant counselors and help with eviction papers. You get more information at the link down below. Do you have a juvenile and adult criminal record? The Public Defender's Office is having a 2023 Clean Slate Day, April 28th at 10 a.m. through 3 p.m. It's a reentry success at the Reentry Success Center, 912 McDonald Avenue in Richmond. You get more information at the link down below. Bay Area Girls Teen Summit Workshops is having a Teen Summit Workshop. There will be prizes, free. It's free and all meals are provided. This is happening April 29th, 8 a.m. through 7 p.m. at Williams Chapel Baptist Church, 1410 10th Avenue, Oakland. You can register at the link down below. I Love Tenderloin Week, April 30th to May 6th in various locations. They're having a beautification day, happy hour fundraiser, a movie night, an art walk, family fest, and more. You can get more information at the link down below. Brotherhood of Elders Network presents Dr. Haki R. Madhubuti from Planet to Planet Developing Independent Black and Progressive Institutions. This is happening May 4th, 6 p.m. through 9 p.m. at 8200 International Avenue in Oakland. California Reparations Task Force having a forced public hearing number 15. This is happening May 6th, 9 a.m. through 5:30 p.m. at Lisser Hall, Mills College, 5000 MacArthur Boulevard in Oakland. There's also a live stream if you don't want to attend personally. Both sides of the conversation and the YMCA are hosting a skate party. There will be skate rentals, food, raffles, and transportation. This is happening May 6th, 6:30 p.m. through 9:30 p.m. at the Golden State, 2701 Hopper Drive, San Ramon. You can register at Eventbrite down below. BPS presents free one-day youth baseball camp, Visitation Valley Playground. This is happening May 7th, 9:30 a.m. through 1:30 p.m. at 263 Leland Avenue, San Francisco. Get more information at the number down below. Sugar Cafe 22 is having a Mother's Day gospel brunch and fashion show. The theme is Forever Valentine, featuring Pat Wilder and Spiritual Delight. This is happening May 7th, 2 p.m. through 5 p.m. It's free at Powerhouse 2301 San Jose Avenue, San Francisco. Black Female Project is hosting an 8 weeks of self-discovery program with Dr. Walters every Wednesday, April 12th through May 31st at 5:30 p.m. through 7 p.m. It's free. You can get more information at the link down below. San Francisco is having its Juneteenth again. Save the dates. June 10th is the parade. June 16th is the City Hall kickoff and gala. June 17th is the Fillmore Festival, and June 18th is the Bayview Festival. You get more information at the link down below. Magic Zone is having a 2023 summer program. This is happening June 12th to August 4th, 8 a.m. through 5:30 p.m. at 10050 McAllister Street. You can get more information at the link down below. Youth First / OMI Family Day. There'll be a bounce house, a 360 machine, bull riding, food, raffles, a bookmobile, and a Sugar Bears appearance. This is happening July 7th at 12 p.m. through 5 p.m. Merced Heights Playground at 801 Shield Street, San Francisco. City Kids is having a CreatorCon. Save the date. There'll be free creative outlets, art, music, and fashion. This is happening July 14th, 11 a.m. through 12:30 p.m. at 200 Block of Jones Street, San Francisco. There's more information incoming. Youth First and Invest Black Comedy and Awards Show. This is happening August 11th at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m., so make sure to get there early. This is happening at the Brotherhood Masonic Center, 855 Brotherhood Way, San Francisco. It's $50, but food is included. You can register at eventbrite.com. And here are some ongoing events that are happening right now. SFHRC is having a regular bi-monthly commission meeting every second and fourth Thursday, 5 p.m. at the SF City Hall Room 416 or at the Zoom link down below. African American Reparations Advisory Committee is having monthly meetings virtually at 5:30 p.m. on every second Monday. You can register at the link down below. Remove Reverend Amos Brown from the NAACP and Reparations Task Force. Rev Brown does not represent the change we need. Both sides of the conversation needs your support and signature. You can sign the petition at the link down below. Here are some scholarships. So there's a facilities hiring fair at Mission Bay Mission Hall. It's May 5th, 11 a.m. through 4 p.m. You can register at the link down below, and the list of open jobs is also down below. There's a security hiring rink at the OMI Job Center. The goal is to connect clients with top security firms in the area. This is happening May 1st to May 5th at 200 Broad Street in San Francisco. You get more information at the link and phone number down below. A.M. Crawford is having strategic philanthropy advisors. It's hiring a lead consultant. San Francisco office or the Gainesville, Florida office. If you're interested, there's a link down below. SF Adult Probation is recruiting for key reentry division positions. There's Reentry Division Director 0923, Senior Community Development Specialist 9774 and 9775. You can apply at the link down below. And are you a youth and you ever wanted to have like a very interesting and community-oriented job? Well, you can join our youth team. At the SF, youth volunteers are needed. There's a paid stipend. You have to be a high school or college honor roll. You can join us at the email down below. And if you're not a youth, you can give back to the community because we are in need of volunteers. We need finance for IT and development, a fundraising coordinator, a production assistant for the marketing team. You can get more information at the email down below. And we want to hear your perspectives. Become a panelist on our Sunday conversation. Do you want to promote your nonprofit? Be a guest on our Hidden Gem show. Come join our show at www.bsotc.org. We are in search of volunteers. Our work is inspiring and feels good. We make a difference in the community with tangible results to show it. We are a highly driven group of high impact, and we get the right things done the right way. Not only will you contribute to the community, but you'll also learn a lot and gain knowledge in your field of interest within the organization. We value your ideas and input. Sign up to be a volunteer today, and you can make a difference. You can also go to all of our social media sites for more news on how to give back to your community and support both sides of the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, young lady. I know that was a lot, community, but we got to get the resources to the people, okay? Everybody's talking about there's nothing going on. People always complaining that none of the organizations are working to get stuff done. Listen, this summer, there's a lot of job programs, summer jobs, internships, community. Connect. We give you information. Go reach out, connect with young people, get involved. There's a lot of free events, things happening, okay? You don't have to say there's nothing going on. There's a lot going on. Also, our next live show is Sunday, okay? Our Sunday conversation. We talking about trauma bonding. What is it? Why do we do it? All the ladies out there that's trauma bonding. You want to be a panelist? We still have some room on here for you, okay? We still got some room. If you want to be a part of this conversation, maybe the fellas, you want to be a part of the conversation. Come on. This Sunday, we're going to talk about trauma bonding, how it impacts our community, the stuff that's going on. I think it's a very important conversation. And we're going to have it this Sunday. So hopefully see you all there. And then after that, next Tuesday, we'll have another segment of our Hidden Gem show. Y'all know every Tuesday at 7 p.m. we give Black businesses, organizations, folks in the community that's doing positive things. We give them a space to come here and highlight what they're doing so community can connect with them. This past Tuesday, that Hidden Gem show, if y'all missed it, y'all better go back and check it out. It was a phenomenal Hidden Gem show. I want to shoot out Let's Get Cute because they had it lit up in there and it was happening. We had some cool conversations and we had some cool business that we was able to uplift and support in community. With that being said, enough of me. I know y'all like, I want to hear Wise Help. I just want to give y'all a little bit of what's going on before we bring them up. This is going to be a little different than our normal educational Thursday. Usually we have our guests come on, run through their presentation, and then we have conversation, ask questions at the end. But today it's going to be interactive. Brittney and them is going to answer y'all questions. So, community, this is your first time tuning in. Maybe this is your first time watching this. If you're on our YouTube, use the live chat function. Put your comments in there. Maybe you want to ask Brittney a question. All right, today is the day we're keeping it real, okay? We're talking about sex, but we're talking about sex that is very, very important to the community. Safe sex. We're going to have a real, authentic conversation, okay? Don't be like, I don't want to hear that. No, we're having a real conversation. Be open. Mothers, grandmothers, legal parents. Listen, we got to open this dialogue and have the conversation with our young people, because when we don't talk about this stuff, the number of STDs go up. The number of youth pregnancies goes up. A lot of things happen. This is an important conversation. I know some people's like, oh, it's uncomfortable to talk about this. No, it's important. We're using this platform to educate our community today. You can't lie after today and say you don't know about safe sex. Now, if you go to a city clinic or something after this, that shame on you, okay? You're getting all information from the best here today at Wise Health. So the presentation today, the Wise Health Collective develops innovative community engagement programs to advance health equity and universe equity within underserved communities. Their work focuses on advancing free medical care, increasing food security, sexual health education, increasing awareness and advancement of planning African American community. To achieve equity, we collaborate with community organizations, local businesses, government agencies, health clinics, and academic institutions to ensure underserved communities are reached where they work, live, play, and pray. They are passionate about development interactive ways. And today you're going to get some of that interactive today with them and programming and doing the things that they need to do to get out to the community. They're presenting on HIV, STD education, and it's a lot more. Okay. Brittney is amazing, y'all. Maybe y'all missed her, but she used to co-host. She always got a great perspective. I don't know. We fuss and fight a little bit, but it's all love. Wise Health is here. She's going to educate the community. With that being said, Brittney Doyle, welcome back to both sides of the conversation, Queen.
My goodness. How did I know you was going to talk smack to me?
No, I didn't. It's all love, Brittney.
I know. I'm so happy to be back, though. I'm excited to be here. It's so good to see you, John, and to be back on the show. And I'm just so excited for the great information that we're going to be bringing you today. John had brought up the Wise Health Collective. We have a whole team with us today. For the past several months, I have had an internship with students from across the country, actually, and we have 4 of them here tonight that's going to lay out a presentation that we created just for the community about HIV and STIs in San Francisco. And let me see, should I go ahead and share my screen or?
Yeah, go ahead. You can share your screen and get started.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started.
Now, Brittney,
yes.
I know you said San Francisco, but safe sex and HIV, STIs is across this country. I just want to make sure people watching, but they focus here because they hear, but these principles, this information applies to folks all across these United States of America.
Yeah, this information that we're also going to be giving you may be a refresher for some, and it may be new information for many. So we just want you all to sit back, listen, and enjoy the information. Let's see. Hope I do this right.
I don't see your lot. I don't see your slides up yet, Brittney.
Okay. We almost there.
All right, there you go.
So we're gonna view the StreamYard, and then I just need to.
We see them. They up. But
is it big screen though?
No, you got it. There we go. We'll put it up.
Okay. All right. So we ready to roll?
Yep, you ready. Go ahead.
Okay. So thank you again for having us today. Our conversation is about safe sex. We're going to be talking to you about safe sex. As you can see, there is a explicit warning content sign in the corner. Some of the information and visuals in this presentation may be triggering to some. So we just, suggest that you all just sit back, listen, just relax, and just, take in the stuff that we're about to say. Like I said, we have a great team with us today. First, we have up Darian Carter. He is a graduate student at UC Berkeley. He's going to be graduating next month with his graduate degree. He's getting a master's in public health. After him, we have presenting Marie Salvo. She is a senior at San Francisco State University getting her degree in public health. Presenting after her is Malaysia Tolliver, who is also a senior at San Francisco State University, getting her degree in public health. And closing us out will be Michaela Beltran, who is also a senior at San Francisco State University, getting her degree in public health. And everyone here will be graduating in about 3 weeks. And this project that we're doing around sexual health education in the community is in collaboration with the San Francisco Department of Public Health with their ETE project. What is it, ETE? Yes, the ETE project is what we are working on, educating the community around HIV. The goals for this session is that we hope that all participants will gain knowledge on the different types of STIs, prevention, and testing. You will understand what healthy sex is. You'll learn about consent, verbal and nonverbal cues, and you'll be able to compare healthy, unhealthy, and abusive relationship behaviors. Just a couple of community agreements before we move forward in this presentation. We really want to hear from you. We are asking for everyone to engage with us in the comments. There are a lot of questions and scenarios that we're going to be providing throughout the presentation. We want you all to give us feedback, give us your responses. You can even give us experiences, but throughout it all, we want you to be courteous to each other, to respect people's perspectives and viewpoints, and understand that everyone just goes through life differently. So don't yuck anyone's yum. Appreciate when everyone provides opinions and feedback. There are many things that you can learn from, or just learn from, or just hear to see how other people are doing things. This is a no judgment zone. We want this to be a safe space for people to learn and to talk about sexual health. I do also want to add to this to please bear with us. We will be showing you 3 demonstrational videos in this presentation, and the transition may or may not be wonky. So just bear with us as we go through that. I just wanted to give you a snapshot of where we are regarding the HIV rates in San Francisco. As you can see that this data that I'm going to go through is the snapshot from 2019, right before we went into the pandemic. Before we entered into the pandemic, 166 people were newly diagnosed with HIV. At that time, African Americans had the highest HIV diagnosis rate by race. Nearly 16,000 people were living with HIV in San Francisco. 69% of the people living with HIV are over the age of 50. Which tells you that there needs to be more engagement with seniors living positive with HIV. 75% of the people living with HIV are virally suppressed. 66% of people living with HIV that inject drugs are virally suppressed. And 39% of people living with HIV experiencing homelessness are virally suppressed. And when we talk about virally suppressed, we're talking about people that are engaged with their care, but there's still a gap of people that are not engaged in their care. And so we're looking at homeless, we're looking at seniors, we're still looking at people who that are injecting drugs that still need access to treatment and to testing. Now, for some, when you look at this data, you may say, well, that's maintainable. That may not be a lot, but this was in 2019. This is when public health engagement switched over to COVID testing. So HIV testing was no longer a priority in the communities, and it still hasn't been a priority. We've been coming out of the pandemic. And so this is really a call of action because we do not know where our community stands right now when it comes to HIV. We do know that there are regular testing that happen when people go into the ERs, when they go see their doctors, if they ask for it. But if they're not asking for it, they're not being tested. So it's very important that our community protects themselves, stays educated as we move forward to figuring out where we actually stand in our community when it comes to HIV and STIs. So that's why we feel like this presentation is very important, because we just want to get this information out there, get the education out there so people know how to protect themselves and how to protect their community. And so next, Darian Carter is going to come up and he's going to go in and have the talk with you.
Thank you, Brittany. So, everyone, thank you for joining us this afternoon. So, let's have the talk. It can be uncomfortable to talk about STIs with your doctor, partner, or community. On top of having the initial conversation, it can be even more uncomfortable requesting that your partner uses a condom. I would take a personal privilege right now to speak to the fact that two of my family members died from HIV/AIDS. One in 1993 and one in 2013. So let's have this conversation. So what is an STI? These infections have had many different names over the years: venereal diseases, the clap, the drip, and most recently STDs and STIs. But just to give you guys keep you guys up to speed, STIs is the most up-to-date term. Educators and healthcare providers switched from STDs to STIs because infections is more accurate and less stigmatizing than disease. Let's break it down for you. An infection happens when a virus, bacteria, or parasite enters your body and your immune system kicks it and tries to fight it. Disease happens when the infection causes symptoms, damages in parts of your body, and leads to illness. Many of these infections never develop into diseases, and most of the time, STIs never get to the disease stage. People may not even know when they have one. STIs usually don't cause symptoms, and they can often be treated or cured with medicine before they cause long-term harm. And it's an infection, not a disease, that gets passed between people during sexual contact. So using infection just makes more sense. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis are curable. HIV is not curable. More than 1 million STIs are acquired every day around the world, and genital ulcers is an open sore in the genital region caused by a break in the skin that fails to heal. Trichomonas is a parasitic STI. So, I'm going to ask you now, true or false? Young adults are more likely to get STIs than seniors. Go ahead and drop your thought in the chat really quickly. I'm looking for the comments. I'm waiting for it. We'll give it 2 more seconds, and then we're going to hop on to the next slide. So false. Since 2010, adults ages 65 and older, chlamydia infections increased by over 52%, syphilis infections increased by 65%, and gonorrhea cases increased by more than 90%. Let me give you a couple of reasons why. One, the older generation, they tend to get tested less due to the stigma surrounding STIs. They tend to think that they are less at risk due to their age. Erectile dysfunction medications such as Viagra or Cialis, along with erectile dysfunction medications such as Viagra or Cialis allow men to sustain erections. And they may have several sexual partners after the death or divorce of their spouse with whom they were monogamous with. They might not think of other types of sexual activity such as oral or anal sex as a way of transmitting or contracting STIs. And those with early dementia or memory loss may simply not consider this an issue. So let's talk about sexually transmitted infections. We're going to start with chlamydia. And gonorrhea. Note that there are similar symptoms to those experiencing a UTI, so it's important to be checked by a doctor or nurse to confirm. So, both are bacterial infections, and they spread through vaginal, anal, and oral sex. Symptoms include abnormal discharge from vagina or penis, burning or pain with urination, and men, they may have testicular pain. And then once treated for chlamydia and gonorrhea, you can still get them again. However, many people with chlamydia and gonorrhea don't have noticeable symptoms and can still pass them to others. Thank goodness there is a treatment. Both chlamydia and gonorrhea can be cured. They're treated by antibiotic therapy with cure most cases of chlamydia and gonorrhea. I want to note most cases. And once treated for chlamydia and gonorrhea, you can still get them again. And I know we've all been to high school. I want to make sure you guys see these photos here, as in what it looks like, and what most people call this to be the clap or the drip. Next, we're going to talk about syphilis. Syphilis is a bacterial infection. It spreads through vaginal, anal, and oral sex. Syphilis symptoms come in many stages, and they progress. Stage 1, one or multiple sores at the infection site, whether that be the mouth, genital, or anus. Stage 2, skin rash, hair loss, and fever and fatigue. Stage 3 is what we deem the latent stage. There are no symptoms, and it can last for many years thereafter. What the stage 4 is the most severe, and medical problems affecting the heart, eyes, and brain. Fortunately, there is a treatment option. Syphilis can be cured with antibiotics. This can be a single injection or 2 weeks worth of pills. This will not reverse the damage caused by syphilis, though, and you can still get syphilis again if you've had it already. And to recap, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis are preventable and treatable. They can be prevented, though, by using condoms, abstaining from sex if you notice sores or rashes on your genital, mouth, anus, and getting tested by your doctor. Now we're going to talk about genital herpes. Genital herpes, herpes simplex 2 virus infecting the areas in and around the genital area and the anus, is transmitted through genital to genital, genital to anal, genital to mouth contacts, via also semen, vaginal fluids, blister sores, lesions, and surrounding the skin. Most individuals do not show symptoms, but they can still affect others. Some of the symptoms include tingling or shooting pain in the legs, hips, and buttocks, one or more open sore blisters in the genital or anal area, and with fever, body aches, or swollen lymph nodes. These infections, although one of those facts, so transmission of herpes is more efficient from men to women, from women to men, and mostly asymptomatic. They experience sensations of mild tingling, again shooting the pain, and there is a difference between HSV2 increases the risk of acquiring a new HIV infection by approximately threefold. People with both HIV and HSV2 infection are most likely to spread HIV to others. In advanced HIV, HSV2 can lead to more serious but rare complications such as meningoencephalitis and encephalitis. There are treatments for herpes. There is the antiviral medication. This can reduce severity and frequency of symptoms, but they cannot cure the infection. Some of preventative transmission: avoid sexual activities if you or your partner has active herpes symptoms. Avoid sharing items that may contain saliva. Use condom when having vaginal, anal, or oral sex. Screening is not recommended unless a person is having symptoms or have or had sex with a sexual partner with genital herpes. Again, antiviral medication can reduce severity and frequency but cannot cure the infection. People who already have HSV1 infection are not at risk of getting it again, but they are still at risk of acquiring HSV2, which is the genital infection. The consistent and correct use of condoms can help prevent the spread of genital herpes. However, condoms can only reduce the risk of infection, as outbreaks of genital herpes can occur in areas not covered by the condom. So now we're going to talk about hepatitis C. This is a viral infection and can be contracted mainly through sharing the use of needles. This can also be transmitted through sex, but less common, and most people don't have symptoms, but are still contagious. Hepatitis means inflammation of the liver, and Hep C is a liver infection caused by hepatitis C virus. Its effects can range from a mild illness that lasts only a few weeks to serious lifelong illness and liver failure. Hep C is spread when blood from a person infected with Hep C virus enters the body of someone who is not infected. Primarily transmitted via shared needles, and most common instances of needle sharing are during IV drug use, tattoos, and body piercings. How it cannot be transmitted through is hugging and sharing surfaces. Progression of disease: people with a new Hep C infection usually does not have symptoms but are still contagious. And when somebody do appear that they have it, it only seen over time. Active inflammation of the liver leads to scarring. This can lead to symptoms of liver failure, including altered mental status, confused, really tired, distension of the abdomen, a very large abdomen, and jaundice, as you can see in this photo here, which is the yellowing of skin and the whites of their eyes. So let's talk about a little bit of the screening for Hep C. Everyone born between 1945 to 1965 should have been screened for hepatitis C at least once in their life. People with increased risk factors should be screened more often. Those risk factors include IV drug use, sharing needles, sharing tattoos or piercing equipment, and condomless sex. Those born in the baby boomer era, there's a high prevalence of Hep C in people during that time, with 75% of those people with Hep C born during those years. So there is a treatment option, but it's not curable. Infection clears completely, especially if treated early. An infection never completely goes away, but the symptoms are managed. Again, there's no vaccine for Hep C, but everyone is different, so we definitely want to make sure you talk to your physician. Major advances in medical treatment over the past decade regimen consists 8 to 12 weeks of pills, antiviral medication to clear the virus, and what we say 90% is cured if it's caught early. But again, the medication does not erase the damage done to the liver by having Hep C for many years. And Hep C active inflammation or irritation of the liver can lead to scarring or scar tissue. So now we're going to talk about one of the most severe STIs, and that's a human immunodeficiency virus, also known as HIV. HIV is a virus that attacks the body's immune system. HIV spread through vaginal, oral, or anal sex, breast milk, or through sharing needles. And without treatment, HIV can progress to acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, also known as AIDS. With proper treatment and a healthy lifestyle, people with HIV can live just as long as people without HIV. And I want to repeat that statement. With proper treatment and a healthy lifestyle, people with HIV can live just as long as people without HIV. The number of seniors living with HIV has definitely increased, and older people and lower income people are more likely to have late stage HIV or AIDS as a diagnosis, so it is important to get tested. So we're going to talk a little bit about transmission. Sexual transmission, receptive anal sex, person on the bottom, is the highest risk for HIV transmission, followed by insertive anal sex, person on top, followed by vaginal sex. Then oral sex, kissing, and touching has little to no risk for HIV transmission. So those who share needles, HIV can live in the used needle up to 42 days, depending on the temperature and other factors. HIV is found in semen, blood, vaginal and anal fluids, and breast milk. HIV does not survive long outside the human body, such as on surfaces, and it cannot be reproduced outside of a human host. It must have the human's host. It is not spread by mosquitoes, ticks, or insects, saliva, tears, or sweat that is not mixed with blood of an HIV positive person, hugging, shaking hands, sharing toilets, sharing dishes, or closed mouth or social kissing with someone who is HIV positive. Other sexual activities that don't involve the exchange of body fluids, for example, touching, you will not be able to contract HIV. HIV and the aging population. Why are elders more likely to have late stage HIV? Well, let's talk about the things we said before. Doctors don't always test the elders. Providers and elders, and considering elders can also be risk of HIV infection. Symptoms mistaken for normal part of aging, and an impact more damages to immune system if we start treatment later. So what are those symptoms? When you contract HIV, you will essentially see within 2 to 4 weeks of infection, some people experience flu-like symptoms or enlarged lymph nodes. The disease that becomes latent or stops causing symptoms at all, and latency can last for months, many months to many years. But without treatment, the disease will progress or can progress to AIDS. AIDS symptoms include fever, sweat, weight loss, weakness, and frequently additional infections. Luckily, through science, we have seen treatment for HIV, but there is still no cure. So the treatment, antiretrovirals therapy, also known as ART, and those pills must be taken every day. And also, if you look at the three on the screen, PEP, PrEP, and ART. Other prevention measures, condom use, avoid sharing needles with others, abstinence, and again, PrEP and PEP. So we're going to talk a little bit about each one really quickly. So what is PrEP? PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis. There is a drug called Truvada that is out there. And who can have this? Individuals who are HIV negative and sexually active with partners with HIV, partners with unknown HIV status, those who share injection or drug equipment or other forms of needle use, any gender or age. How does it come, or what form does it come in? It comes into a pill. When? They must take the drug daily and before possible exposure to HIV. You must take the pill 7 days in totality for full effect to kick in, and then daily thereafter. And why would we do this? It reduces the risk of getting HIV from sex by more than 90%. Reduce risk from getting HIV from unsafe needles use more than 70%. What else? However, this does not mean you should stop using condoms or other means of protection against STIs and STDs in general. This does not prevent other STIs and STD contraction. Let's talk a little bit about PEP. That's the post-exposure prophylaxis. So who can be able to take this drug? Individuals who are HIV negative and potentially exposed to HIV by having sex with partners who may have HIV, share injection drug equipment or other forms of needle use, needle stick or other injuries. How does it come in form? A pill. And when? Within 72 hours after the possible exposure to HIV. And the drug must be taken at minimum as prescribed by your physician for 28 days. Reduced risk of HIV infection is by more than 80% and not 100%, therefore still practice safe sex and safe needle use techniques. PEP is effective, but not 100%. So you should continue using condoms with sexual partners and safe injection practice while taking PEP. It's not a substitute for regular use of other proven HIV prevention methods such as PrEP, which means taking HIV medicine daily to lower your chance of getting infected, and using condoms the right way every time you have sex, and using only your new sterile needles works every time you inject. So now something new we want to talk about, which is definitely needs to be cleared the air for everyone, is antiviral therapy. This is individuals who are confirmed HIV status by your physician. Medication can be used, pill or injectable, when it's taken daily or monthly as prescribed as your physician, and why the risk of transmitting HIV to others is limited and low. And I'm going to speak a little bit about some information here. If taken as prescribed, HIV medicine reduces the amount of HIV in the body or viral load to a very low level, which keeps the immune system working and preventing illness. This is called viral suppression, defined as having less than 200 copies of HIV per milliliter of blood. HIV medicine can make the viral load so low that a test can't detect it. This is called undetectable viral load. Getting and keeping an undetectable viral load is the best thing people with HIV can do to stay healthy. Another benefit of reducing the amount of virus in the body is that prevents transmission to others through sex or syringe sharing and from mother to child during pregnancy, birth, or breastfeeding. This is sometimes referred as treatment as prevention. The risk of transmitting HIV to the baby can be 1% or less if the pregnant person takes HIV medicine daily as prescribed throughout pregnancy, labor, and delivery, and gives HIV medicine to their baby for 4 to 6 weeks after birth. Essentially, U equals U. So what does that mean? Has your doctor ever discussed U equals U? Or have you ever heard what U equal U means? That's an undetectable viral load. And if you have an undetectable viral load, you cannot transmit HIV to your partner. How does this look for someone who has HIV? Well, in the first 1 to 6 months to become undetectable after starting treatment, they must stay on their treatment for 6 months to stay undetectable after first undetectable test results. And after those 6 months, they can't pass the HIV through sex as long as you stay undetectable. That means they need to take medication daily and see their healthcare provider regularly to monitor their test results. Really quickly, some FAQs. What do you call a couple who is HIV positive and HIV negative? This is a serodiscordant couple, which means a couple is which one partner is HIV negative and one is positive. And although one partner is currently HIV negative, this does not mean that their partner is immunized or protected against HIV. How can someone be infectious? The short answer is because when HIV viral load is undetectable, there's little to no virus and infection to occur. Even though someone is still HIV positive, HIV transmission is no longer at risk. Most infections need a certain quantity or concentration of virus from a transmission. For example, viral load needs to be above 500 or 1,000 or 1,500 copies to be more infectious. The actual upper limit is not known, but being undetectable is too low. HIV is already quite a difficult virus to catch, and being on ART reduces the risk to minimum up to 0. Does U equals U work for everyone? Yes. The partners should include both gay and straight couples. And some straight couples, the man was positive, and others, the woman was positive. In partner one, about 1/3 of the 900 couples were gay men. And partner two included 1,000 gay couples. In partner one, couples had more than 58,000 times. They had sex 58,000 times without a condom. In partner two, the figure was 77,000 times. And there was no linked HIV transmission in either study. Does this work with HIV drugs? Yes. The exact combination is not important. U equals U only needs viral load to be undetectable. And all art that does this will mean U equals U. Does U equal U work for all types of sexes? Yes. The partner study collection information above, the different sex people had, for example, the number of times they had oral, vaginal, anal sex, and also asked whether the negative partner was active or passive. It included whether there was ejaculation. So essentially, everyone, U equals U. So where can you get tested or get PrEP or PEP? Your primary care provider. And I listed some here, but also if you don't live in the San Francisco area, you see that screenshot in the far left corner, you literally state find HIV prevention services near you, and it will get you completely connected to your service providers or locations where you can get tested. So true or false? If you have an STI, but you don't have symptoms, you can't pass it to anyone. Go ahead and drop that in the chat for me really quickly. Of course, I see the chat filling in now. It's false. A person can still pass an STI to someone else, even if they don't know that they have it or aren't having any symptoms. That's why it's important to get tested regularly. So, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and HIV, when should you get screened? Yearly screening for sexual active people with new partners, multiple partners, partners with known STIs or unknown STI statuses, and feeling uncomfortable with symptoms or smells. You should be getting tested regularly. So what is a test? For chlamydia and gonorrhea, it's a urine test swab. For syphilis, it's a blood test, and HIV, with research and researchers' novel aspects of things, you can get mouth swabs or blood tests. For Hep C, it's also a blood test. And again, another slide to speak to where you can get tested. So now I'm going to pass it over to my colleague so she can talk about what healthy sex looks like.
Got to unmute yourself. Who's come? Brittney, you got to unmute yourself, Brittney.
Yes, thank you, Darren, for that very informative presentation. And now we have Marie. Let me go ahead and share your slides. And if you can keep me up.
Hello everyone, my name's Marie, and let's talk about healthy sex. First, I have some questions for everyone. I would love if I could get some answers in the comments. What are some ways to keep yourself physically healthy in a sexual relationship?
What are some ways to keep yourself physically healthy in a sexual relationship? I don't see anything in the chat. Oh, communication. That's a good one.
Okay, and then what are some ways to keep yourself emotionally healthy in a sexual relationship?
Emotionally healthy in a sexual relationship. I don't see anything in the chat. I would say having your own thing going on and allowing your person to have their thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a condom or do cardio, eating healthy, protection. Oh, good boundaries, knowing your status. That's a good one.
Okay, and then who can you talk to about your physical, emotional, and spiritual health?
Who is your go-to person to talk to? Friends, family? Okay.
So first, we will talk about how to protect yourself. Condoms prevent both pregnancy and the spread of STDs. They should only be used one time, but they should be used every time a person has sex. There are two types of condoms, the male or external condom, and then the female or internal condoms. And the name changed to internal condom because they are not limited to vaginal sex. They can be a great addition to anal sex as well. And condoms are typically made of latex, and some condoms contain spermicides, but there are other options like polyurethane if you are allergic. And then there are also natural condoms, for example, made of lambskin that protect against pregnancy but not STIs. And then some tips for protection are to check the expiration date on the package of the condom. If someone has a genital lesion, it should be covered. Otherwise, you may not be protected. Only use one condom at a time. Only use one condom at a time, because if you use two or more, there may be friction that can cause rips in the condoms. And then, importantly, remember that protection is sexy. It does not have to kill the mood. Condoms can be added into the routine in a fun and pleasurable way. So first, we will be talking about the male or external condom. They are the most effective against STIs. Fun fact is they can hold over 4 liters of water, although the average male ejaculates around a teaspoon of semen. And then we have a demonstration.
The external condom is used to prevent the transmission of fluids from one person to another, to protect against sexually transmitted infections, which are also called STIs, and to prevent pregnancy. The condom covers the penis during vaginal, anal, or oral sex. They come in a variety of materials, including latex, which prevents the passage of many STIs and doesn't break as easily as other materials. People who are allergic to latex should use polyurethane condoms instead. Remember to always ask for consent and discuss STI testing before starting any sexual activity with a partner. You can buy condoms at a pharmacy or get them for free in the health resource room. Condoms are more comfortable and less likely to break if they're used with a water-based lubricant, which is also available in the health resource room. Never use an oil-based lubricant like body lotion or baby oil because they can damage latex condoms. Check the expiration date on the condom. Expiration dates are marked as EXP. Next, check to make sure the package has an air bubble. If there's no air bubble, throw it out and get another condom. Carefully tear open the package where the ridges are and remove the condom. To prevent breakage, do not unwrap the package with fingernails, jewelry, or teeth. Check to see which way the condom unrolls. If the condom is placed on incorrectly, it will not roll down smoothly. If this happens, do not flip the condom over. Discard it and get a new one. Gently squeeze the tip of the condom between your thumb and index finger. This presses out any trapped air, leaving space for semen. Place the condom over the tip of the erect penis. Unroll the condom onto the penis all the way to the base, leaving a space at the tip for semen, and smoothing out air bubbles to prevent breakage. After ejaculation, hold on to the base of the condom and carefully withdraw the penis. This makes sure that the condom does not slip off or leak. Take off the condom, wrap it in a tissue, piece of paper, and discard it in the trash. Do not flush the condom down the toilet and never use a condom more than once. If this feels awkward at first, don't worry. Practicing putting on the external condom will help you feel more comfortable and confident. And remember that by using a condom correctly, every time you have sex, you're helping yourself and your partner stay healthy and safe.
Next up, we have the female or internal condom. When used correctly, they are 95% effective. They also can be put in ahead of time so you're ready for action. And then a fun fact about them is internal condoms can increase sexual pleasure due to their heat transmitting materials. And then we also have a demonstration of that.
Like the external condom, the internal condom is a barrier method that prevents the transmission of fluids from one person to another. When it is used correctly and consistently, the internal condom is just as effective at preventing sexually transmitted infections, or STIs, and pregnancy as the external condom. The internal condom is a pouch made of nitrile, a type of plastic. It loosely lines the vagina and covers the outside vaginal area during vaginal sex. Remember to always ask for consent and discuss STI testing before starting any sexual activity with a partner. You can get internal condoms free in the health resource room. Check the expiration date. Expiration dates are marked as EXP. Tear open the package carefully along the notched edge, being careful not to tear it with fingernails, jewelry, or teeth. Remove the condom from the package and unfold it. The condom is long and narrow and has an open end with an outer ring and a closed end with an inner ring. Internal condoms are pre-lubricated, and any type of additional lubricant can be added before use. Choose a comfortable position to insert the condom inside the vagina. You can squat, raise one leg, sit, or lie down. Then, squeeze the inner ring, the closed end, of the condom between your thumb and index finger. Gently insert it into the vagina. Use the finger to push the inner ring as far as it will go. It should sit above your pubic bone and feel comfortable. Make sure the outer ring is outside the vagina and the condom is not twisted. If the condom is twisted, remove it and reinsert it. When ready to have sex, add a few drops of lubricant to the penis or the inside of the condom. Remember, do not use an external condom with an internal condom. This causes friction and makes both condoms less effective. Hold the outer ring in place as the penis is inserted into the condom so that it enters the center of the outside ring. If the penis is inserted underneath or alongside the condom, withdraw it immediately. After ejaculation, withdraw the penis and then gently remove the condom by twisting the outer ring to keep the semen inside, gently pulling the condom out. Semen will be inside the pouch, so it is important to remove the condom carefully. Wrap the condom in a tissue or in an empty package and throw it in the trash. Do not flush the condom down the toilet and never use a condom more than once. Lastly, if you don't have an external condom, an internal condom can be used for anal sex. For anal use, the inner ring should be removed right before insertion, and after the ring is removed, a penis or object can be used to guide the internal condom into the anus. If this all feels awkward at first, don't worry. Practicing putting on the internal condom will help you feel more comfortable and confident. And remember that by using a condom correctly every time you have sex, you're helping yourself and your partner stay healthy and safe.
So next up, we have the dental dam, which I just learned about recently. It's a thin, flexible piece of latex or polyurethane that creates a barrier between the mouth and genitals or anus. They can be made from male condoms, and to make them more fun, you can add some flavored lubricant. And it's important to know that they should not be reused or flipped over. And then we also have a demonstration for these.
The dental dam reduces the risk for sexually transmitted infections, called STIs, when used correctly and consistently. A dental dam is a thin, flexible piece of latex that is used as a barrier between the mouth and the vulva or anus during oral sex. Dental dams come in a variety of colors with or without lubricant, and some are flavored. Remember to always ask for consent and discuss STI testing before starting any sexual activity with a partner. You can get dental dams free in the health resource room. Check the expiration date. Expiration dates are marked as EXP. Open the package carefully. Remove the dental dam from the package and unfold it and check the dental dam for rips or tears before using it. Place the dental dam loosely over the vulva, meaning the outside vaginal area or the anus. Make sure it covers the entire vaginal or anal area. You can apply water-based lubricant to the side of the dental dam that will touch the vulva or anus to make it feel more comfortable. The dental dam should be held in place by either person during oral sex. Never turn the dental dam over once it has touched the vulva or anus, since it may have already come in contact with body fluids. After oral sex, throw away the dental dam. Never use a dental dam more than once, even if it's with the same partner. If you do not have a dental dam, you can make one with an external condom. Follow the same first few steps to using an external condom, such as checking the expiration date, checking for damage, and opening the package carefully. Next, remove the condom from the package. Now, hold the condom with your thumb and index finger, and using a pair of scissors, cut the condom halfway. Now, unroll the condom using 2 hands and use it as a dental dam. Although oral sex cannot result in pregnancy, STIs and other infections can still be transmitted through oral sex. By using a dental dam correctly every time you have oral sex, you're helping yourself and your partner stay healthy and safe.
So, which of the following are appropriate forms of lube for safe sex? In the comments.
What are appropriate forms of lubes? You can go ahead and go.
The first 3 being water-based, silicone, and hybrid lubes are appropriate forms of lube. Water-based lubricants are easy to clean up, compatible with most sex toys, and the least irritant to skin or tissues. But they are likely to dry up quickly, so they are not long-lasting. And then silicone lubricants are smooth and silky feeling and long-lasting, but they don't work with silicone sex toys and they create more of a mess. And then hybrid lubes kind of have both the benefits of water-based and silicone lubricants because they are made of mostly water, and then the little bit of silicone added keeps it wetter for longer. And now we can talk about consensual sex with Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Malaysia, and I'm going to talk about consensual sex. What is consent? In a healthy relationship, both partners are able to express their feelings and respect others' boundaries about sex. You shouldn't have to have sex to keep your partner. You may feel comfortable kissing or holding hands, but not want to go any further. And that's okay. Okay, consent. Consent has many definitions. So let's go through all of them to make sure we're all on the same page. So ongoing consent is anyone that can change their mind about what they're interested in doing anytime. Freely given is saying yes without pressure or manipulation. Specific is saying yes to one act, like kissing or something. And it doesn't mean that you've said a yes before to others, like oral sex. Informed is not deceiving or lying. For example, if someone says they'll use a condom and then they don't, then there isn't full consent. And then enthusiastic is about wanting to do something, but not feeling like you have to go, like you have to or you should do something. Okay. And deciding whether you want to have sex or when you should is a decision you should make when you feel it's right for you. In a healthy relationship, your partner respects your decisions, even when they don't like them. How to obtain consent. So let's talk about how to obtain consent and what the conversation looks like. So here are some conversation starters to obtain consent. Are you comfortable? They'll say, is this okay? Do you want to slow down? Or do you want to go any further? These are conversation starters that gives the consent. Okay, these are some verbal signs of consent. So consent sounds like, yes, I know, I'm excited, don't stop, more, I still want to, I feel good about this, I'm ready, and this feels right. What no consent sounds like is no or silence, I don't know, I'm scared, stop, no more, I want to do this, but not right now, I don't know how to feel about this, or I'm not ready, or I'm not sure if I'm ready, or this feels wrong. So these are verbal signs of consent, of non-consent. Okay, and these are non-verbal cues. So possible signs of consent is direct eye contact, initiating sexual activity, pulling someone closer, actively touching someone, nodding yes, laughter or smiling, open body language, and active body language. So possible signs of no consent is avoiding eye contact, not initiating any sexual activity, pushing someone away, avoiding touch, shaking the head no, crying or sad or fearful, or closed body language, or just lying there. So communication is key, and body language is key too. So be aware of that. So I want to make sure you guys understand consent and how it works. So we're going to go through some scenarios, either stop, slow down, or go/proceed. Okay. You are at the community center and you see a romantic interest. You start flirting with them and you put your arm around them. They get a little quiet and look away. Do you stop, slow down, or go? So y'all can answer in the comments.
Stop, slow, or go. What are we doing? I see go. You're at the community center, you see a romantic, as you start flirting with them, you put your arm around them, they get a little quiet and look away. Someone else says stop, stop, stop.
Yeah. I would stop too. Okay. The next scenario is you and your partner are kissing and you ask them if they want to continue to the bedroom. They smile and say yes. Do you stop, slow, or go?
You and your partner. Oh, there. Here come the goes. Go, 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 go. Keep the party going. Ashton said it's a go.
Yeah. Okay. The next scenario is you ask someone you like for their number and they say they're not sure they want to give it to you. Do you stop, slow, or go?
That's a tough one. Lynette says slow. You ask someone you like for their number and they say they're not sure they want to give it to you. That's a close. That's a stop for me. Because I'm like, but everybody says slow. It's a whole bunch of slows.
Okay, the next one is you're making out with someone on the bed and they're just kind of laying there, not doing much. Do you stop, slow, or go?
I see stops. Nia Brown said, and leave. That's a definite leave. I don't feel wanted.
Okay. The next one is you have a crush on someone in your neighborhood and are always bringing them food and gifts, but their actions are not reciprocated. Do you stop, slow down, or go?
You have a crush on someone in your neighborhood and are always bringing them food and gifts, but their actions are not reciprocated. Burn rubber. I see this a lot in the senior community, actually. Lots of unreciprocated gift giving.
Okay. Your significant other arrives at home tired, but as you begin to kiss them, they seem to reciprocate as things escalate. Stop, slow down, or go.
Dolce says stop. Your significant arrives at home tired, but as you begin to kiss them, they seem to reciprocate as things escalate. That's a go. Go with the flow.
Okay. You are in the process of having sex and you realize your partner has fallen asleep. What would you do? Stop, slow down.
That's not the answer. Yes. Stop. That's a stop.
Okay. You have been courting someone for a month and you realize they don't remember who you are. Do you stop, slow down, or go?
This is also something that I see in the senior community a lot.
True or false? People with dementia cannot consent to sex. What do you guys think?
True or false? People with dementia cannot consent to sex.
It's a tricky question.
Is there an answer for it?
I believe it is. It says it depends.
That's what I put down for that. We're going to go ahead and say that that's a true. That people with dementia cannot consent to sex. It at some point, you know, when you have a partner, you've been together a long time, and dementia starts kicking in to the point where they don't remember who you are. At that point, they cannot consent to sex because they're not in their right mind. You are not their husband. You are not their wife. It's a totally different situation. But when someone has dementia, it's like sometimes they can come in, they go in and they can come out of it. Like they can go in and, you know, be back in 1960 or not realize, you know, who the people are in front of them, or they can come out and know everyone that's around them and can fully engage and, you know, be completely present. And that's where I think I have like the trickiness. But when it all boils down to it, once the person is diagnosed and they're starting to show signs of forgetfulness, intimacy should look different with your partner.
Okay, so here are some recommendations. Discuss the status of your relationship with your partner. Discuss ways to communicate no or stop. And for more advice, you can contact a trained counselor at that number provided. And thank you. I'm going to pass it on to Michaela.
Thank you, Malaysia. Hi, everyone. This will be the last segment of this presentation, and we will be talking about healthy relationships. Let's start with the behaviors. How would you describe a healthy relationship? If you can kindly use the comment box to share a word, phrase, or anything that comes to your mind, that would be very appreciated. Any word? Honesty, open communication. Thank you. All right. A healthy relationship is when two people develop a connection based on mutual respect, trust, honesty, support, fairness or equality, separate identities, a sense of playfulness or funness, and good communication. I just wanted to emphasize good communication because it is always key to a healthy relationship. And the physical part of it is no different. Only you know what's on your mind. So unless you express yourself, the other person is only left guessing. I know it can be uncomfortable being completely open to talk about sex, even with your girlfriend or boyfriend. But still, it's important to push past that and let them know what you like, what you don't like, and if you don't want to go any further. Good communication takes practice and patience. And learning to listen is equally and possibly even more essential to strong communication. Because when you show the other person that what they say matters to you, they will be more likely to trust and listen to you in return. Okay, now, what are the things that come to your mind when you hear unhealthy relationship? Please use the comment box.
What are characteristics of an unhealthy relationship? I know we know some answers to this. People must have a lot to write. Trauma bonding, poor communication, mental abuse, abuse.
Thank you. Unhealthy behaviors in relationships include jealousy, distrust, manipulation, disrespect, name calling, poor communication, or lies. What about abuse? We mentioned this. It can come in different forms. It can be emotional or verbal, psychological, financial, physical, or even sexual. Emotional or verbal abuse includes non physical behaviors such as threats, insults, constant monitoring or checking in, excessive texting, isolation, stalking, humiliation, or intimidation. This is a type of abuse wherein words and emotions are used to hurt others. It can also be in the form of psychological abuse, which is usually characterized by distorting a person's sense of reality, also known as gaslighting. The goal of the abuser is to convince the victim that they are crazy or incompetent. For example, the abuser might insist that some event happened in a much different way than how the victim remembers it. They distort facts, even the minor details, to set the stage for larger deceptions to easily manipulate their victim in the future. Another form is financial abuse, which can be very subtle. It can be in the form of forbidding you to make your own money, making you feel unworthy or incapable of financial decisions, requiring you to share control of your bank accounts. Financial information sharing is usually one sided, and making unauthorized transactions under your name. Please remember that at no point does someone you're dating have the right to tell you how to use your money. We're also familiar with physical abuse, which is any intentional and unwanted contact with you or something close to your body. It can be slapping, punching, choking, kicking, use of weapons, inappropriately using drugs or physical restraints. But sometimes abusive behavior does not cause pain or even leave a bruise. It may not leave a physical mark, but it's still definitely unhealthy. Examples include preventing you from doing your basic needs, refusing to let you leave the house, or locking you in a room. Lastly, sexual abuse. This refers to any action that pressures or coerces someone to do something sexually without their consent. It can be an oral sex, rape, or restriction of access to birth controls and condoms. Other examples include degrading sexual comments or even threats of exposing intimate photos. It's important to know that just because the victim did not say no doesn't mean they meant yes. That wasn't a consent. Some people think that if the victim did not receive an unwanted sexual advance, it doesn't count as abuse anymore, which is totally not true. Sometimes, physically resisting can put a victim at a bigger risk for further physical or sexual abuse. So let's stop this mindset. It only makes it more difficult for the victim to speak out and more likely that they will blame themselves, whether they were intoxicated, felt pressured, or intimidated to act a certain way. Sexual abuse is never the victim's fault. I just also want to add that April is Sexual Awareness Month, so I'd like to take this opportunity to honor the resiliency and healing of sexual assault survivors. We're talking specifically about abuse in context of romantic relationships, but it's also common to experience it outside of these relationships. But remember, the survivor of abuse is never at fault. We have some resources for abuse survivors. The National Domestic Violence Hotline and the 24-hour crisis hotline are also up here. Feel free to take a photo so you can save them. And now let's learn a little more about the resources. Black Women Revolt provides a designated space with resources specifically for Black women in San Francisco to help educate and heal as they recover from abuse. Their services include case management, legal services, mobile health bus, support groups, or youth services. If you want to connect with them, just scan the QR code and that will take you to their website. Okay, next one. San Francisco Women Against Rape was founded by sexual assault women survivors who strongly believe in the leadership of survivors and working to end rape. Services include advocacy program with medical, legal, and social services. There's also crisis intervention services, individual peer counseling, and support groups. Lastly, we have this legal services agency in San Francisco that upholds the legal rights and dignity of sexual assault, domestic violence, and stalking survivors. CROC offers services including domestic violence and non-intimate partner restraining orders and crime victim representation. Let's break the silence. Let's end domestic violence. And that concludes our sexual presentation.
Thank you. That was amazing. Great job, everyone. You all did an amazing job.
Great job, everybody. I gotta say something though. Y'all, I just have to say this. This was great education presentation. Brittney always does a phenomenal job, but we gotta lift the moment up, okay? We gotta lighten it up a little bit. You know, tonight's gonna be a quiet night now. You know, I don't know what's going on. We gotta lighten it up a little bit. But I think you know, before we let you all go, we should have a conversation for the community because they want to hear from the bishop. You know, I have to say something because I just learned some stuff tonight. 43 years of my life, I just learned about consent all my life. I never gave consent. I don't know what's been going on. I learned something tonight, but I've never seen an internal condom. I don't know. I've never seen a woman use that. So this is education for me. See, even at 43 years old, you can learn something new. I never knew they had those. Okay, good stuff, you guys. But on another note, lighter note, you know, we talk about these issues in our community, Brittney, and to all of you all, you know, these conversations sometimes can be very uncomfortable for families, you know, coming from Black community, brown community. You start talking about sex because of the religious backgrounds and different things of that nature and different stigmas and taboos in our community. You know, what are some of the ways that we can open up these conversations in our homes? I know today is a great day because it's kind of public. Maybe somebody didn't want to talk about it. They got it today. But how do we bring this to our community? How do we bring this into our homes? And then where do we start? What age do we start? Because I hear conflict. People talk about we shouldn't be talking about sex with elementary kids and different things. When do we start the conversation? Y'all the professionals, tell me something.
Well, you know, when it comes to the discussion of sexual health, it's all about normalizing it and just reducing the stigma around sex, which, you know, comes from different aspects of our culture, like religion, community, family. Our perspectives on sex would just have to change. But when we talk about normalizing sexual health and the discussion around it, you know, it's about bringing it up in the classroom, you know, educating our students in school, educating our students in the church, you know, seeing more billboards in our communities, billboards with people that look like us, that have, you know, Black men, Black women, elders on it, so that it's relatable. But it's all about, you know, just bringing the education to where people are at and just normalizing it. I mean, we actually had a conversation about what age was appropriate for this presentation, you know, because of the things that we talked about in the images. And I have educated people as young as 11 years old, and even 11 years old have asked me like some wild questions of things that they thought and things that they heard around sex. So you know, it's just all about whenever the parents think that it's appropriate. But I think that the discussion should definitely start at 11, especially if people are having you know, getting access to social media, you know, discussions are happening at school, the things that we see on TV. There's so many things in our culture that we have such a strong sex culture surrounding us, that, we have to start early to protect our children, and, ensuring that everyone is educated on saying yes, saying no, what a good relationship looks like. When is it okay to have sex? When is it okay to have those conversations? And that really should start at around the age of 11.
And anybody else could jump in there. Me and Brittney, we used to co-host together. We always take over the mic, but y'all can go ahead and say anything. But I think, a lot of this is very touching information. I was very surprised. I was educated tonight because, see, I always on this platform, I talk about the elders, and to see the elders with the highest rate, I said, whoa, what's going on with the elders? See, elders, we got to teach the young people the right way. Y'all have to lead by example. Y'all got to change those numbers. But what I wanted to say is, y'all know I'm a fool. The bishop is about to get started here in a second.
Look, are you saying bishop?
Yeah, I am the bishop.
Is that you?
Yes, that is me. But I have to say this, Brittney, because I think you guys really touched, on a lot of good areas when it comes to the presentation, because a lot of times in our community, we think, the spread of HIV and AIDS is just from sexual contact. And, in San Francisco, we have a high use of heroin and opiates and different things with needles. So I think that's just great to also put that out there and be aware, because people are in relationships. You don't know if people shooting heroin and things of that nature. I know a lot of folks in our community who passed away from using needles, sharing needles with their friends and things of that nature. So that was a great point. But when we talk about some of the rules and the things that you all talked about, healthy and unhealthy relationship, what's your guidance? What kind of guidance will you all give to minors to steer them away from peer pressure and sex? We always say sex is sacred, but the culture we live in with the rap, the music, what would you all say for a parent out there that's maybe raising a young person or a teenager right now? What are some of the things that they could do to help steer their young people away from being pressured into having sex?
Anybody want to take that, Darian? You want to take that?
Sure, I'll take that. I have young nephews and nieces, and you want to be honest with them. The hardest part about it is that you're not the cool aunt or uncle when you start talking about things that they don't want to hear. What was exciting for me is that I actually had the conversation with my aunt who was HIV positive, and I did not know until she passed. And when she shared with me, around that time, is that, sexual health is important, and didn't understand why in the scope. And it kind of set the tone for me and my children. Now, my son is young, he's 6 years old, but they're exposed to things that you're not used to or even thinking about at this point of age, especially with other things in other people's houses. So you have to just be honest with the children, open line of communication, knowing what's happening, monitor what they're seeing, and be cognizant that, if you're not going to teach them, somebody else is going to teach your children. And so you just have to be super, you're going to have to let them go into the world, but you have to make sure that we're sharing, honest information with them as sooner and early as possible.
And Brittney, I don't know. You didn't come prepared tonight. I'm getting messages from my people. They say they didn't talk about the LGBTQIA community and their issues when it comes to sex, but we'll get some of those slides in to help educate those folks in the community as well.
What kind of issues? Sex is sex.
I don't know. People always text me.
What kind of issues?
I said, put it in the chat. Why y'all always texting me? I keep telling people, use the live chat. Everybody want to text the bishop. Go in the chat. Ask the panelists. But I think that's a good point, young brother, for putting that out there. Because I think those are the things that we really have to address and deal with our community, because you're right. We give these kids these tablets, and I'm telling you, one day I grabbed I got a 7-year-old granddaughter, so I know. I grabbed I grabbed the tablet. She's watching children's stuff, and the next thing I know, she says, "How you get to this adult site?" So they always sticking this stuff in ads and things of that nature. So it is important to have these conversations, because it just pops up on social media and things of that nature, and it's hard to really scan and monitor through that stuff. So I think that's something that we just have to be mindful and be, like you said, just be honest and have the conversation and be comfortable with it. Make it where it's not such a biting thing. The other thing is, what are some of the driving forces that motivates sexual partners to participate in protected sex, you know, because I was listening to y'all about those condoms and the what is it, the one that if you have latex, them condoms must cost $50 a condom for you know, what is that?
You talking about the FC2s, the internal condoms?
Yeah,
The
no,
condoms?
not the internal condom. You said the ones if you have a like the I forgot what it's called for latex, if you're allergic to latex. What's the other?
The polyurethane.
Yeah, the
And then
polyurethane.
there's the
That sound like it's
nitrile.
expensive. I never bought one, but I'm saying, you know, it's probably $50 for a polyurethane condom. How much are them things these days? I don't know.
I think a box of condoms, I don't know. I think a box of condoms is like $15. I don't know. You can get condoms for free. All of these condoms, the FC2s, the polyurethanes. Now the lambskins are the ones that are expensive. Now those I know are expensive. But the polyurethanes, the FC2s, and just the regular latex condoms, I know you can get them for free. And we actually are having a sexual health fest coming up on May 13th at Cafe Alma in Bayview Hunters Point. That's a Saturday from 12 to 3. And so you will have access to free condoms, and you'll be able to touch them and try them out and see which one works for you, which ones, you know, you like.
And to echo you, Brittney, condoms are $15. Antiviral drugs are $3,000 a month. So that you could do the math.
Yes, there we go. $15 for condoms, $3,000 for HIV medication.
Wow, that was a great comparison right there, brother. I'm glad you said that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find some condoms for these roses, because roses are the hottest toys on the market. Everybody uses them. They have a lot of sex.
They can't get you pregnant. They can't get you pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. After tonight's show, I think I'm going to practice abstinence after tonight's show. Y'all done scared the livey jibbies out of me, okay? I don't want to be in the clinic, right? But you know, one of the things I'm glad you talked about that cafe event, Brittney, because before the pandemic, I know here in San Francisco, there used to be a lot of programs with DPH where they had young people walking through the community, passing out condoms and things, and it kind of went away. So I'm actually really impressed and happy that you all are here tonight, because this is like almost perfect timing. Our school kids are getting out of school, summertime, and we need some of those services in the community. I remember they used to go into the businesses, the corner stores, and just leave them on the counter. And say,
give them fish bowls with the condoms in the bathroom.
Yeah, so you have to write another program. We got to get DPH. If you're listening tonight, I know somebody from DPH is watching. Make sure y'all get the condoms back in the community. We don't want our young people, they say expired dates. We don't want them using the condoms in their luggage from last year, okay? We got to get new, fresh ones out on the market. And ladies, don't be poking in the middle of the packages, okay? Fellas, check the package and make sure that they are intact. We gotta have those.
Blow through the condom. Be sure to blow through the condom. Just check for holes.
So one of the last questions that I had that came up was about when people have multiple partners. You know, how do these folks narrow down the culprit if they do get a positive test for HIV and things of that nature?
Well, there's actually a process that a lot of people don't know about. When you're tested positive for HIV, your test is reported to, well, no, let me pause that for a second. When you say culprit, you mean the person that they got it from? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you test positive for HIV, your positive test is reported to the health department, to a surveillance specialist. And the surveillance specialist will send what they call DIS, disease investigators, out to do some investigation to figure out where the transmission started from. So they'll come to your house, they'll talk to you, they'll find out who your partners are, like who your last 3 to 4 partners are. Then they'll go to each one of their house and talk to them and find out who their partners are, and then go to their house and find out who their partners are. So they go back 3 levels. It might be more now, it might be less, but it's 3 levels where they do partner investigations, and they basically get to the bottom of it. Now, if they call you back and tell you, they may not tell you who they got, but they'll know. And they'll put in services in place to make sure that everyone is tested and, you know, in care and things like that. But that's usually how you get to, that's usually how citywide, system-wide, how you get to the bottom of it. But when it comes to you doing your own personal process of elimination, it can take up to 6 months for HIV to manifest in your system to show symptoms. And so you really just have to think about the people that you slept with within the last 6 months, and then do a partner of elimination that way and talk to them, make sure that they're tested, and just make sure everyone knows their status.
That's real. Ladies, don't be out there messing with them splendid daddies, okay? Y'all see the numbers today? Them older guys, you better watch out. Them older guys, they be messing around out there. Be careful, young ladies.
Splendid daddies? What is a splendid daddy?
Splendid daddy, not the sugar daddies, the splendid daddies. They said it's splendid. I don't know. The young people educated me. I was like, don't be messing with me. Yeah, see, they teach me. This is why I hang around young people, because they always give me the information. They say, John, I said, you better leave those sugar daddies. There ain't no sugar daddies, they're splendid daddies. I said, oh, okay. I didn't know. Now I gotta be careful, because y'all, I seen it in the comments too. I never heard them call gonorrhea or chlamydia the drip. And then we got these songs out here talking about, I got the drip. So now,
and that's what I think about.
I'm not gonna be walking around talking about I got the drip. I ain't singing that song no more. Turn them songs out. Y'all better be careful when y'all hear them songs out there talking about I got the drip. Because I'm be like, you got the drip. Watch out now.
And you saw the picture too. It's dripping. So that's where it come from.
Wow. Don't be messing with nobody talking about they got the drip. Okay. But lastly, I just want to say I really appreciate you all being real, authentic community that engaged tonight. This has been great. Wasn't it great, community? I saw all the comments and people in there texting and laughing, having a good time. And I think that's how we have to have these conversations. We know it's serious. We know it's real. It really impacts families and communities. But we also want to make it light. Y'all know me, I'm a little silly. I always want to make things light, because I know somebody tonight is going, ooh, I don't want to touch anybody no more, because these conversations do kind of mess you up. They even mess me up. I was like, I don't want to talk. No, I don't touch that. But it's great to get this information out to the community. Again, y'all heard me bigging up Wise Health and amazing health education that they're bringing to our community. This has been a great presentation tonight. And I think we need to have more of this. I think what you all are doing is so powerful because it's preventive, right? And I always say that in our community, we react to everything, right? It's like COVID happened, we react. This happened, we react, right? And you all are doing something that's really giving people an opportunity to really make sound decisions for young ladies who don't know. When you talk about consent and things of that nature, fellas, it is not okay when a woman say no, no means no. Okay, none of that. Oh, baby, no sweet talking. No is no. Stop. All right, that's the red light. Stop. Okay, but again, it's just great that you all, put this out there, because it is important measures that need to be taken, and we need to do the preventative work, because too many times we're just showing up to the clinic and we walking in the ERs and we holding ourselves and we burning, we in pain, and it's too late. Take the preventative message, okay? Tonight, you've been blessed, community. Take this information, share it. Make sure you get to the clinic. Don't be trying to self-diagnose yourself. Call Wise Health if you need a clinic, all right? Black women revolt. I don't know. Get some help. We got services and resources. Call your doctor. Don't be trying to self-heal yourself. Well, the community is going in. Okay, the community is going in. All right. But that being said, before we let you all go, we always give our panelists an opportunity just to give a shout out, uplift somebody. Whatever you want to do, we give each person an opportunity to just give some love back. Maybe it was who motivated you. I don't know. But before we leave, y'all could give any parting words, uplift somebody. If you got a new business venture coming on, this is the time to just highlight that. And thank you all for being here tonight.
I'll go last.
Okay, we can start. We'll go around. We'll start with Marie. You want to say anything or thank anybody or thank the people who gave you opportunity to do this? Whatever. It's your time. Talk to the people.
Thank you for everyone that listened. Hi, guys. Shout out to everyone on here.
All right, cool. Malaysia, you want to say anything?
Yes, I want to thank Brittney for this opportunity, and I want to thank the people that joined in and watched, supported me. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Darian.
Yeah.
Definitely want to shout out to Brittany for giving us this opportunity, my family for supporting it and jumping in, my classmate and cohort, and of course, one of the biggest topics and what's going to happen is you equals you. So if you find out you're positive, it's not the end of the world. You can take your treatment and you can stop the spread. Appreciate the time.
Man, thank you, brother, and just thank you for being courageous from a male's perspective to speak up. I know we're getting close to stem cell, replacing all the T cell, but community, we ain't there yet, okay? Don't take the risk and make sure you do the right thing. But thank you, brother, because I'm glad Brittany connected with you because we do need to have male voices speaking up about going to see a doctor. This is a big problem in our community. Black males don't go get help. So hopefully tonight, ladies, you can share this video, make them sit there and watch it so you go get a checkup. I don't know. Be the influencer. But thank you, King, for coming on tonight and being courageous and speaking up tonight because, again, we changed the narrative through the voices. And tonight, Wise Health changed the narrative, lifting the voices of the people, educating the people. Michaela, go ahead and say something to the people, young lady.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Brittany and the PSOTC team, and also the people who took their time to watch this presentation. Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, the head, the king, the powerful leader. We always talk about here on both sides of the conversation. We always say leadership is about demonstrating what's possible. Tonight, community, you see one of our pillars of the community, Miss Doyle, leading, demonstrate what's possible, working with the young people, giving back the knowledge that she learned to the people. Now that's power. That's power. Brittany, go ahead and talk to the people.
Y'all be so extra.
Y'all see Brittany froze up. See, that's what she used
Of
to do when
course.
she was on the show co-hosting with me.
You know, this good internet wasn't going to last too long. What you say? This is it. Darian, don't you laugh. I don't even know what you over there laughing at. Anyways, I just want to thank you all for presenting tonight. I just Darian and Michaela, y'all did an amazing job. We have 10 interns right now. And so each one is supposed to be doing this presentation out into the community. So this was our first one. And I believe that we have a few more that we're going to be doing. So if anyone is interested within the next 30 days, interested in having us come out and just do this same presentation with your students, you know, with anyone in your community, please hit us up. Our website, our social media handle, both of our social media handles are right here. But yeah, you know, and we also have a sexual health fest coming up on May 13th. It's going to be at Cafe Alma, and it's just a fun, engaging, and exciting day just to learn about sexual health, HIV, STIs, just prevention, and healthy relationships, which is what it's really all about, how to, you know, form healthy relationships with people in your community and partnerships and things like that. And so we're just very excited for these opportunities. Thank you so much, John, for having us and for all the wonderful smack talking that you did tonight. It just really made us feel good. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being back. My co-host that do the most, Brittany. Y'all know she wasn't going to let it down. Y'all know before she left, there was going to be a fight somewhere. But I love Brittany. Brittany is a powerful being in our community. And again, Brittany, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all of the amazing work you have done, not only here today, but during COVID, and the continued efforts that you advocate for not only women's health, but men's health, our community health. We need those pillars in the community, and you are doing that. And thank you and Wise Health for all of the impact. Okay, Brittany impacts our community, and we just thank you for always having humility, compassion, and love for the people. That's what it's all about. All power to the people. Y'all know, but Brittany is definitely one of those individuals in her organization, Wise Health. Check her out on Instagram. Check her out on Facebook. Check out the work that she is doing. Again, community educators. Okay, y'all always talking about Black folks coming to educate the children. Reach out to Wise Health. Partner with her so that we can educate our young teenagers in middle school and high school about safe sex. Because I just learned tonight about consent, and we need to make sure all our kids in the community understand about that. And I just think that's great. And again, thank you, Brittney, for all you do. Community. With that being said, before I let y'all go, y'all know I got to give the benediction tonight, okay? So I'm going to give the benediction to the people because y'all got to hear from me. Maybe you missed something. Maybe you tuned in late. You better listen to this. So with that being said, community tonight was powerful, inspiring. It was preventive. The information that our community needs when we talk about safe sex, when we talk about healthy relationships, the things that we need to be aware of in our community tonight, you was blessed with the presence of Wise Health and some amazing, amazing young people. We always talk about uplifting the young people. They did a phenomenal job tonight, bringing you the information, the concerns, knowing the colors, learning the information. Stop means stop. Yellow means slow down. Sometimes red is just like you're dead. I don't know. The green might let you go, but you got to get there first. Be safe. Everything that you do in motion when you're trying to find a partner, make sure that you're asking the questions. Make sure you're doing the health checks. There are opportunities out there. There is no excuse, especially if you're in San Francisco. There's free clinics. There's opportunities. You can reach out to Wise Health. There's information there. There's no reason to be scared to find out about you before you engage in a relationship. Make sure your health is in check. Make sure you're going to the doctor and getting seen. Make sure that you are doing the things every day in your life to keep you from catching yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. One pill a day could be one too many. Make sure that you are wearing condoms when you're engaging in your sexual partners. You can use the external or maybe the internal. I don't know. But make sure you have something on standby so you can stay alive. These diseases is real. This is not a joke. Okay? When you talk about chlamydia, when you talk about gonorrhea, when you talk about herpes, okay, this stuff is real, community. Let's do our part. We don't want to be the people spreading the disease. We want to be the people that stop the disease. Stopping the disease means doing the safe practices. Stopping the disease, making sure you're checking up on yourself. You're doing the right thing so that you're not passing and transmitting. Let's all do our part. When you're using drugs in San Francisco, they have places where you can get free needles. You don't have to reuse them, okay? They even give you places you can go get high in. I don't know why, but it's their community. Don't take the risk. Don't share needles. Don't reuse condoms. Young people, don't use saran wrap. Don't use plastic bags, okay? Go to the local clinic. They're all around San Francisco. Get some free condoms. Maybe we need to put them in the schools at the front door. Maybe we need to put them on the public buses. I don't know. But make sure you're doing your part to be safe. A healthy community starts with healthy individuals. Each person has to do their part. I'm asking our community tonight, the next time you engage, make sure you're prepared to be safe. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. This has been a great show. I'm excited. And maybe we can take some of this into Sunday because some people are sexually trauma bonding, moving one person, another person, and bringing all of that trauma into their sex life. I don't know. We'll have the conversation this Sunday. We're talking about trauma bonding. Maybe you've been trauma bonding. Maybe you know somebody that's trauma bonding. It's a great conversation. Let's talk about it this Sunday, community. Until then, we're going to keep doing the work we're doing. These educational Thursdays are very important. You heard the community tonight. You saw the response. When you intentionally educate community, the change really happens. Tonight, Wise Health promoted that change tonight. Do your part. Our skating event is next Saturday, community. I know they said it in the opening. Next Saturday, free skating event. Both sides of the conversation in Bayview Y. We're partnering together. Come out with the bishop. Y'all will see me out there on my both sides of the conversation skates. Okay, I got some both sides of the conversation skates. We pulling up. Come show up with us. We'll be in San Ramon. If you don't have a ride, go to the Bayview Y. We got charter buses there that's going to get people to and from the skating event. I'm looking forward to seeing you all out there. It's a great event. And maybe we could get some of those condoms for our next homeless feed that we have coming up. And we know homeless people are still having sex. And I'm going to make sure I load up my buckets and bring some condoms out there for them as well. Again, young people, listen to your parents. This education night, maybe your parents didn't tell you about safe sex. Young ladies, maybe somebody told you about consent. Tonight, you understand. You have a right to say no. You have a right to say stop. Know your rights tonight. You learn from Wise Health. With that being said, thank you all, community, for tuning in and supporting the work we do. Thank you, Wise Health, for educating the people, keeping everybody safe. They are the sexual safe police, okay? Don't get arrested. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good evening now.